Sepia, DreamWorks, and Universal logos helpfully prepare you for the most yellow-tinted movie ever made. 35 seconds of reading, 28 seconds of wheat enjoying. How did this horse know where to go with a headless horseman on top of it?
At my signal, unleash hell.
What, you mean the dog?
3 weeks from now, I will be harvesting my crops. Imagine where you will be, and it will be so.
So I guess all the guys who die in this battle are imagining themselves in the ground right about now.
For you are in Elysium, and you're already dead!
2013 movie with the same name retroactively makes this hilarious. Wildling army just stands there and screams for minutes on end while the Roman army makes ready for battle. And the enemy army pays for their inaction by taking a vicious beating once the Roman army gets all set up and everything. Oh, I see that Hans Zimmer rewarmed this score for the Pirates of the Caribbean later. That's not so much a sin for this movie, but hey, when in Rome, you don't care who is who. You don't care who the Romans are fighting. All you care about is the fact that this is a generic battle opening and you put too much salt on your fucking popcorn. Fortunate passers-by. Fire! Battle! Shaky cam.
I shall sacrifice 100 bulls to honor your triumph. Save the bulls.
Just get some whiskey for my men and some beer for my horses. Washing your bloody hands in the dirty blood water of previous washers. I realize they had limited options, but are thousands of candles the best way to go about lighting the interior of a cloth tent? Wouldn't you be able to make do with less than half the open flames you have going in this thing right now?
If only you had been born a man, what a Caesar you would have made.
The way things were back then. Why does Joaquin Phoenix remind me so much of Rufus Sewell in this movie? Do you remember Rufus Sewell? The 90s sure do. This came out in 2000, just after the Rufus Sewell is always the bad guy era was coming to a close.
You accept this great honor that I have offered you?
With all my heart, no.
Maximus is a dick to original Dumbledore.
And Commodus?
Commodus is not a moral man. Commodus cannot rule. He must not rule.
Yeah, well, what this movie sweeps under the rug is how many times the real Marcus Aurelius gave more and more power to Commodus as he approached his death. So why would you give an immoral man all that power, man?
Commodus will accept my decision?
Unlikely.
The surgeons say there was no pain.
Excuse me, the who? Did you just refer to your medical practitioners as surgeons? A word that was not invented for more than 1,000 years from now?
The emperor has been slain.
Okay, so we know Maximus is right, and it's okay to have suspicions, but he has zero proof. Does he know what era he lives in?
Right until dawn, and then execute him.
What? Why dawn? Why not until you get tired? Or until the blood moon rises over the harvest sky? Arbitrary reason to make Maximus' execution take place far away so he can escape is arbitrary. Caesar sends 4 regular dudes to kill the best warrior Rome has ever seen. Looks definitely passed on here, since, you know, sunbeams. So why haven't they killed him yet?
At least give me a clean death. A soldier's death.
They fall for this. Grabbing a sword this way should cause major injuries, especially when swinging it in a violent manner. Lucky-ass shot. Sudden picturesque lightning. Meanwhile, on the moon. Sure, let's carve out a horsey circle in our actual crops, as opposed to doing this on any of the regular old land we have. How did these guys even know where they were going? I don't know, maybe someone in the army had visited there before, but we're talking nearly 3 years since Maximus himself had been there. And this journey they just made is over 1,000 miles. It's not like someone can go, travel to Spain, and then, ride at the McDonald's, and then you're at his house. What, did he just now realize that his family was in danger? For no good reason, Horse decides to stop running and be a dick right here and now. Movie rips off the hero finds his loved ones as charred corpses thing from Star Wars. Ah, I see the soldiers were ordered to not only kill Maximus' family, but display them like this, so in case he escaped his execution, he'd be extra sad about their deaths. Grief drool. Movie suddenly turns into Requiem for a Dream.
Don't die. They'll feed you to the lions.
But will I care? If I'm already dead? How much you want to bet the owners suckered the townsfolk into paying for this arena?
You sold me queer giraffes.
That's racist.
I'll give you 2,000 and 4 for the beasts. That's 5,000 for an old friend.
It is? If you were going to give yourself a discount, why didn't you just say, I'll give you 3,000 for the beasts? You know, since you're the one dictating the terms anyway. Queer giraffes. Well, the vulture symbolism is a little heavy-handed, I gotta admit. Guy who made a show of telling these guys they were all worthless and were going to die soon back when he bought them is now giving them a pep talk to try and get them to fight well. One speech does not jive with the other speech is all I'm saying. Pee running down someone's leg to show scaredy-catness cliche. Here's even more confusing battle scenes, even though there are far less combatants. You guys just tell me when the main characters win. I'm gonna nod off for a second. The gladiating will go down exactly like this. Rome doesn't have quite the buzzard problem of the other arena we saw earlier. Rated T for teen. What are the rules of this stuff? Do the opponents have to watch Maximus fight one-on-one battles? Or could they join in on the fight and make it a lot less fair?
Are you not entertained?
Somewhat. Well, we hated you until you yelled at us about being entertained. So, yeah, we like you now.
And the great whore will suckle us until we are fat and happy and can suckle no more.
Wait, I thought it was the whore doing the suckling. How do you get fat and happy when the whore suckles you?
Perhaps you will have your freedom.
Said the guy who could literally give him freedom right now if he really wanted to. i.e. his owner. Thunder and lightning indicate something ominous, cliche.
And kiss me.
Incest request.
I get that it's ancient Rome and there aren't newspaper photos of Maximus on microfiche at the local library,
But to ask me to buy that he went all this way through all these smaller fights and provinces and shit, and not one single former soldier has ever recognized him? That's impossible. Also, let's let the heir to the Roman throne hang out inches from killer barbarian warrior slaves. What's the worst that could happen?
Anyone here been in the army?
Yes, I served with your Vinderbauer.
Funny that didn't come up until now. How did that guy not see Juba running towards him?
Rise! Rise!
Maximus only decides not to kill Commodus because of a kid.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius,
I should have known something was up when none of the soldiers I sent to kill you returned.
and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Love those words. This life is your only option, though. I mean, surely in the next life you'll forget all about it. But good luck.
They lied to me in Germania. They told me he was dead.
They? What they? Nobody returned from the execution to confirm his death.
This man wants what you want.
Then have him kill Commodus!
No one hears that? I mean, later he says,
God! The lady has finished with me.
so there's someone within earshot hearing all this conspiracy shit. Early Roman concessions practices.
Alias Maximus!
Okay, so last fight, all of Rome found out this was Maximus, the main general of the Roman army. Yet, he's somehow still a slave gladiator? How is there no public outcry about how he became a slave in the first place? How are there not riots to set him free? How is this next gladiator match happening? Now, maybe they heard he spoke out against Commodus, but he's incredibly unpopular anyway, so what the f***? Maximus doesn't take advantage of this guy turning his head. Catricide. Wait a minute, wasn't Quintus responsible for sending Maximus to his death? And Commodus was upset that they lied to him about Maximus being dead? So why is Quintus able to sit here in the VIP box and not dead? Well, I guess if one random asshole says it, then the whole crowd can get on board with that. Also, how does one asshole get his voice heard in the middle of an arena with all that noise going on? Maximus is a lucky fuck.
They tell me your son squealed like a girl when they nailed him to the cross.
Yes, but as Maximus probably knows, Commodus's soldiers are pretty unreliable when it comes to things that actually happen.
Find me! Find me!
Is it difficult to find the prisoner-slave gladiators in their cells? No matter how hot your sister is, this should probably be filed under the too gross to attempt portion of your brain. Much too late, an unbelievable love story comes out of nowhere because somebody's got to get a little action in this movie. That's cheating on the dead wife that you're going to see soon, right?
I'm Maximus, the savior of Rome.
Caesar's nephew is a dick to Caesar.
The savior of Rome. And who said that?
The answer to this question requires secrecy to the audience. Also, seriously, Lucilla is going around saying this shit in front of her kid?
It seems you've won your freedom.
So Oliver Reed died during filming, but necessary or not, that CGI shot of him is f***ing eerie.
Shed his dust.
Okay, so this shot definitely came from that scene earlier when Maximus was yelling about Commodus f***ing up everything. You didn't think we'd remember, did you? Instead of killing Maximus for trying to escape, sure, let's just arrest him again and keep making him gladiator himself. How are all these assholes throwing rose petals any kind of distance in the Colosseum?
The general who became a slave. The slave who became a gladiator. The gladiator who defied an emperor.
Sounds like a good thing to put on the poster and or trailer.
Striking story.
Movie takes the time to pat itself on the back.
Strap on his armor. Conceal the wound.
This guy's still alive? Let that be a lesson to you 15 and 16 years ago. Put lots of roses in your movie and it wins Best Picture. Movie rips off the See the People You Love After You Die thing from Titanic. Damn, death is so amazingly close to life, he should have done this earlier.
Is Rome worth one good man's life?
Well, an epic movie winds to a close. Time for a ponderous speech. Symbolism.
At my signal, unleash hell.